Hi, this is Jim. I'm back from the Biggest Loser Resort. This is day 2 of being back, and I thought I'd talk about some good things that we bought today and maybe a few not so good things. Let's start over here. We've got the Kashi. Now, the Kashi has a good amount of protein. We have 9 grams in there. The other one has 13 grams. Both of them seem pretty good. They're the honey almond flax one is a pretty decent source of omega-3s, and the other one's pretty good too. So sometimes you just buy because it's yummy. But I also wanted to talk about how we shop today. When we buy most of our stuff from here out, we're going to be buying most of it from the outside aisles. In other words, when you first walk into the store, you hit the produce area, and that's where you get food that has one ingredient. Like the ingredient for this, orange. Ingredients, orange. Banana. Ingredients, banana. Ingredients, kale. The fewer ingredients that you can have in your food, the less basically toxic or poisonous it is. I mean, you can get stuff that is really good and healthy for you, and you can boost your metabolism, or you can go with something that is not going to allow you to metabolize things very fast, and therefore it's going to make it so that you're not going to be as healthy. Sweet potatoes are a great food. We're going to try and work more of these into our diet. We're going to try and stay away from some of the starchier vegetables like potatoes. It's always good to get in some broccoli. Broccoli is one of the superfoods, as are avocados. Now, avocados are not native to Wisconsin, but they're a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, and we're going to be incorporating those into our diet more. Another thing that we're going to be trying is like a tuna salad, but instead of mayonnaise, we're going to use avocado, and that's going to help to make it so that the fats are healthy fats. This is called spelt. Yeah, I got no idea what that is, but
it's a grain that you can use instead of rice. It looks like rice. It's supposed to taste like brown rice, but it's better for you because it's a grain. So I decided to try it for the first time, so we're going to try it.
Excellent. There we go. Now, I also looked at the V8, and the V8 ingredients list was pretty straightforward. There was no hidden things that I didn't really understand in there, except for potassium chloride. I don't really know what that is, so that's something that I need to look into a little bit more. Now, I went with Eileen's Walnuts. Why did I choose this brand? It was because there was no added ingredients. I use a little cheat sheet that is available on the Kashi website. And the Kashi website here, Kashi website has this neat little cheat sheet that talks about, was it BHA, I think it was? And BHA is it's not real good. It's used as a preservative.
BHT.
BHT.
Yep.
This chemical is used as a preservative in cereals and snack foods, and the folks at Kashi who have this neat little convenient decoder cheat sheet basically gave that a thumbs down. So I passed up the more well-known national brand, and I went for the Eileen's. Slivered almonds, same sort of thing. Ingredients in here, almonds. Now, we went and did a few of the Blue Diamond. Now, we're going to try and stay under 25 grams of sugar per day. And yeah, these do have sugar in them. But the ingredients here are almonds, sugar, cocoa powder. There's a little corn maltodextrin, which probably not real good. But dark chocolate, sea salt, and stevia extract. Okay, stevia is a natural sweetener, so that's a good thing. It's last in the list though, which means there's not a whole heck of a lot. But stevia is one of those foods where you really don't need much of anything. So the dark chocolate, no, there's an indulgence, and it's still mostly healthy. Now these, we decided to go ahead and figure out how we're going to work in a little more flaxseed into our diet. As you may already know, flaxseed is very high in omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for skin if you have eczema or any other skin problem. Then flaxseed as well as walnuts are, basically that's natural medicine. Screw what the doctors are going to give you. This is what you really need. We bought a lot of these little quick made Kitchens of India dinners because we looked at the ingredients list, and for the most part, they were pretty straightforward, and there's not a lot of extra junk in there. There's actual food instead of chemicals in these Kitchens of India things. Some of them are a good source of protein, so we're real happy with that purchase today. We went with pears. Got some good oranges, so we've got a good source of fiber. Zest up the diet a little bit with the jalapenos. Bananas are obviously going to be a staple for snacks. And although these are green, in a few days they'll be plenty yellow. Those will be a good mix with for a snack food for pairing with either peanut butter or almonds. Now, I went with Chicken of the Sea chunk light tuna in water. Now, the ingredients list on this is pretty straightforward. It's got chunk light tuna, and vegetable broth. And that's pretty much it. So I thought, how you can't go wrong with that. So one of these is going to make a good meal as my protein component. Now, kale's not one of those things that I would normally buy a whole lot. It's a good green leafy vegetable. But I think that what we have done in the past is we've made kale chips. Effectively, what we do is we'll put them on a cookie sheet and spray them with olive oil, bake them until they're crispy, and then they're actually kind of a yummy treat when you put salt on top of them. As far as rice, well, we're switching to brown rice, and the ingredient here is ingredient list simply shows whole grain brown rice. Okay, so we're basically sticking with food that is food, and not a whole lot of junk. Some people who've had brown rice have kind of poo-pooed this because it's kind of a little rougher and it's not sticky. They like it stickier. If you like your rice a little stickier, put it a little bit more water in the pan and cook it a little bit longer. It'll get a little bit gummier, and that'll take care of that need. Cauliflower, another one ingredient food, and I decided to go ahead and buy some organic pink ladies. The nice thing about the store that we shop at, which is Woodman's, is that some of their organics are just about the same price as the non-organics. Chia seed. This is one of those great superfoods that are supposed to be. You can kind of throw them in anything, and also you can make some sort of pudding out of this. I'm going to have to look a little bit more into that. Maybe that's another excuse for a future entry. String cheese. Now, the nice thing about this is that one chunk of cheese is good as a single serving. So string cheese is, well, basically it's a one ingredient food, right? Cheese. And we've got...
Okay, cheese is made of milk, so it's not really
it's a milk product.
Yes.
Basically. And then we've got our squashes. These are going to be good. That'll help make up 50% of our plate to keep us on the 50% vegetable side, 25% protein, and also we'll have 25% carbs. And speaking of 25% carbs, we went with the sprouted grain breads. The sprouted grain bread it's just going to be healthier for you. It's going to have fewer ingredients in it. We have a couple dinner rolls here, as well as as well as a regular loaf. Now, you're not going to find that a sprouted grain bread has bleached flour in it. And just a word about bleached flour, and that is that it's basically crap. They've bleached all of the good stuff out of it. Sometimes they'll call it enriched, which means that although they bleached out 100% of all the good stuff, they may have put in maybe another 20, 30, 40% of the vitamins that they already tore out of your food, put right back into it, and that allows them to call it enriched. This stuff, however, has a very simple ingredient list. It is whole sprouted grains
of red wheat berries, oat groats, rye berries, barley, corn, rice, millet, wheat flour, water, wildflower, light amber honey, vital wheat gluten, yeast, molasses, and salt. Now I know what every single one of those are, and I can picture them in my head. So that's good.
Right. So basically what we're doing is we're kind of following a good, healthy diet here of things that don't have a lot of extra ingredients. Now, milk. Now you're looking at this, you're seeing the red cap, you're saying, oh no, danger, danger, Will Robinson, he gets whole milk. Well, here's the thing. You need fat to burn fat. And butter as well as, and we have plenty of butter in the fridge, so we didn't buy any more. But the fat in milk, it's good fat. Now, we talked about good stuff.
This is good.
No, it's not.
It's oranges. That's all it is.
Yeah,
There's
right.
no sugar in it.
Exactly. For 1 cup of this, how many oranges does it take?
I have no idea, but I'm not going to drink a cup of it. It's for Kennedy.
Okay. So this.
I don't drink it. I just buy it.
Okay. So this is for our son. Let me just tell you, it takes about 4 to 6 oranges to make 1 cup of this stuff. So you could either have basically fill this entire area here full of oranges in order to make this little thing. So you're basically pumping up your sugars here. Let's look at the sugars. Oh, look at that.
Grams.
8 ounces of 8 ounces of this no pulp juice is giving you 22 grams of sugar. Okay? Now, if you're only supposed to have 25 grams, yeah, not so good. Basically, unless you're really a super athlete and you're busting your can, that's probably something you're going to want to leave in the grocery store. We have a teenager, different story. Okay, so we looked at the yogurts, and the Chobani Greek yogurt without anything in it it says plain, it says non-fat, and the ingredients are pretty basic here. Basically, the ingredients are food: cultured pasteurized non-fat milk, live and active cultures, and then it lists the cultures that are used. Mm-hmm. That's it. Now, we can do a couple things. If we want to have this for breakfast, we could put in a little bit of stevia in there if we want to sweeten it, and we could put in some blackberries, raspberries, or blueberries. All great berries to add to your diet, and the ingredients are pretty much straightforward. Ingredients list on here on blueberries is, oh, look at that, it's just blueberries.
You got to watch to make sure that there's no sugar in there to make it sweeter.
Because there are some companies that will add sugar in there, and you think that you're getting something good and not so much, but these are good things. Now, why did I choose smelt? Well, because I used to eat a lot of it when I was a kid. But look a little closer. This is wild smelt, which means that this isn't smelt raised on some sort of corn-type product or corn-type food that's been genetically modified. These are smelt that have gone out and they've been eating things that normal little smelt would normally eat. And as soon as after they were caught, they were dressed. This is going to be a great source of protein. I'm not really sure how we're going to make it, nor am I sure how we're going to make the mussels or the shrimp. But the ingredients in all of these are just the actual products. Now, I'm not really sure. There is one little ingredient on the shrimp here that I'm a little concerned about that throws me for a little bit of a loop. It says shrimp, salt, and sodium tripolyphosphate to retain freshness. Okay, so we're going to have to look into what that is to decide whether that's something that we're going to buy a second time. And of course our hot sauces. Those are always good. Okay. Now there's just one more thing here that I wanted to talk about. Maybe a couple things. First of all, the V8 Fusion. I was pretty skeptical about this, and actually there was good reason for it. The V8 Fusion on this one is really good, but the light version,
it had oh my goodness, sucralose in it.
Yeah.
Which is it's much more sweet than sugar, and so you're going to have something that it's sweet, but it's overly sweet, so it's going to make everything else not taste sweet. So I'm getting this. The reason I got this was because I don't like vegetable juice.
Oh, you know what, though? Look at that. I didn't notice that when we were in the store.
What?
It has 23 grams of sugar.
Well, I'm not going to eat I won't drink a whole 8 fluid ounces, I promise.
Okay, well, it's 23 grams of sugar for 8 ounces. I had given this a thumbs up. I'm going to actually nix that, though, so not going to be doing that. The quinoa spaghetti. This is something. All the ingredients are pretty straightforward in it. I was real happy with the ingredient list, so we're gonna try that out, see if it's yummy, and also the Ezekiel sprouted grain pasta.
I think that was it. Oh, and then this. Your chicken stock.
Finally, the chicken stock. Now, one of the things that you're going to notice when you're in the stores is that there's, we went around and we did our shopping along the perimeter, and then when we had to go into the other aisles, one of the things that you'll notice is that the things that are marketed very heavily are in the center, right at eye level. You look high, you're better off. Look low, you're going to be better off. This chicken stock is very straightforward. It has chicken stock, chicken stock. It's got, well, it says chicken flavor. I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know. Assuming it's still chicken.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. We have to assume so much right now. But if you looked at the big name brand, the one that's advertised on television, it was it was not impressive when you looked at it compared to this. I'll also point something out here. That this one has like 20 calories per serving. The other one, the national brand, had like 15 calories per serving. And then I just kind of, looking through the labels, I just kind of figured out, the way that they reduce the amount of calories per serving, they just watered it down. So the Kitchen Basics, we've had this before, we've used this before, it tastes great, and this is a big thumbs up for us. And then we got the Akmac crackers. Now, the Akmac crackers, this is great for a snack. They are they're a whole grain. Real happy with these. They're good, but they're not like too good. They have 20 grams of carbs for 5 crackers. So yeah, we're real happy with that. But the ingredients list here is, oh, look at that. Food. Organically grown whole wheat flour, stone ground clover honey, sesame oil, dairy butter, sesame seeds, yeast, and salt. So, as you can see, we had a pretty successful trip here to our local grocery store. We're real happy with it, and we hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you another time.